In terms of who is a good human being according to God Himself, in my limited understanding of the Quran, there are five spiritual qualities. If a certain soul, has these qualities, then such a soul for this attitude is considered a good human being according to God Himself. And while trying to learn or know about these five spiritual qualities that I'm about to tell you, it'd be a moment for us to also reflect if more and more people in this world had these qualities, then would this make our world a better place or not? That's something that I'd urge you to reflect a little deeply about while I talk about these five qualities. So, Islamically, in this test, the way I've understood, the Islamic faith and the whole tradition, what's important for you to have in order for you to make it, there are five things or five qualities within a human soul. If it's in place, then such a soul has the promise of forgiveness. Okay, so these five qualities basically is one, gratitude for all the blessings you've received, for all of God's favors, right? And obviously not every soul is the same. Some have more gratitude and some less, but gratitude as such is something that God expects us to have in order for us to sort of call ourselves good, right? So the first condition is to be grateful, because who are those people who actually believe? And spiritually speaking, God speaks about a quality in our hearts which is about gratitude. Those with gratitude are those who are willing to believe and submit and do God's will on earth. But those without gratitude, when you take this message to them, somewhere the message doesn't make sense, because having experienced this life and everything that it offers and all the blessings that God has given us for free, right from the moment we were born, just think about it. At that moment, there's no other food that we can possibly have except our mother's milk. And that food is made available to us at that very moment when we get out, right? So that is the mercy and love of God which has sort of taken care of us, nurtured us, nourished us all our lives. Whatever human beings need, this whole world has been carefully designed to provide us what we need for our survival, right? Just think about the miracle of rain. It's just falling from the sky and not falling in a way that would hurt us, but falling in a way that actually gives us a sense of pleasure and joy. You know how rains can be something that lifts up your mood. More importantly, it's water. Now we can't survive or live without water even for a day, right? It's the same water falling from the skies on the same soil, and God speaks about it in the Quran and says, don't you ponder how it's producing all kinds of different foods, all kinds of different fruits, different colors, different tastes. How is it happening? Don't you realize it's His mercy that you need to be grateful for? And God ends that passage by saying, indeed man is ungrateful to his Lord. Because if you just think about it, our entire life, the food that we've eaten, the oxygen that we breathe, there is no oxygen anywhere else in the universe, right? You just fly up a little, into the skies and we can't breathe. Forget flying. You just go to Mount Everest, just half of it, and you would start, running out of breath, right? So basically, whatever is required for our survival and our pleasure, the beauty, just look at nature. This is God's way of showing us how merciful He is, how gracious He is, how giving He is, right? But He expects us to sort of realize these blessings and show some gratitude. And in terms of showing gratitude, the Quranic concept of gratitude is spiritually a little different. While we can verbally keep on thanking God, but true gratitude is when let me put it this way. Suppose there are three children born to one set of parents. Okay, now these three children have three distinctly different natures. Okay, child one has received the same amount of love and care and upbringing. Everything's the same, but never feels any kind of gratitude for all that the parents have done, and therefore never bothers to thank the parents. This is child number one. The second one recognizes all that the parents have done and loves to acknowledge and appreciate them by thanking the parents and says, thank you, mom, you've been there for me, you've done so much for me. Thank you, dad, you work so hard, help me with my education, my career, and so forth. He goes on thanking, but he has a slight problem. The problem is, while he always thanks his parents, but he more often than not doesn't do what the parents expect him to do. He always tries to do what he wants to do. Suppose mom says, son, can you take me to this place? I really have a yearning for, this particular pilgrimage that I'd like to do with you. And he has all the excuses in the world to say, mom, you know what? I've got work, I've got this game, I've got this or that. But the point being, doesn't want to do what, mom is expecting out of love, from the son. But he still says, you know what, mom, I really, love you and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. But he doesn't really do what mom wants him to do. So that's the second one. The third son is very different. He not just feels the gratitude, but he feels it so strongly that he's very eager to do what would please his parents. So he's the one who's always waiting and always checking to see what he could do to his father, his mother, to see how he could show his love back for all that he's received. So gratitude, the Quranic concept is just saying thank you is good. It's better than not doing it. But the way to express it is through do God's will. If God expects you to sort of, take care of your parents, help the poor, the needy, give from what He has given you, of the wealth that you love for yourself. Now, these are the kind of sacrifices that actually helps God see the gratitude in you, because you're now willingly and lovingly, reciprocating it by showing your gratitude through acts of obedience, right? And those who do it are the ones who are closest to God. And even on the day of judgment, there's going to be three types of people, three groups predominantly. Those with gratitude would eventually turn as believers with acts of obedience and submission going well for them. And those who believed in God but never bothered to do God's will on earth, and those who never really, showed their gratitude or even expressed it in any way. And God on the day of judgment will look at each group, not just the group, but each soul individually, to see how grateful they are by measuring how, obedient or how submissive they were to the will of God.